What's up, family? It's your favorite cousin, Rich. And I have a question. Does romance or romantic love benefit black people? Does it benefit us if we search for love in a romantic sense? If we go out for love in a romantic sense? Does it benefit us? Or is it detrimental? Because sometimes I feel like when we have this whole thought behind love and romantic love, it's the man that's supposed to do everything in his power to ensure the woman is happy. And it seems like when the woman falls into this romantic sense of love, she can never be satisfied. It's always something else, something else, something else, something else. And I feel like as black people, we have much more on our plate than trying to keep each other satisfied or trying to fulfill these roles that romantic love has sold us. So does it really benefit us to approach love or approach, you know, relationships from the romantic sense? Now, it doesn't mean that you can't be romantic, like go out on a date or do something nice gestures or something like that. I'm not saying that. But the foundation or the focal point of the relationship, should it be romantic, that it should be butterflies, you know, that should always be cute and daisies and something that should always be posted on Instagram, or should we approach it by, team building, village building, really putting two heads together, really working together to have something more than what you already have now. Because I see a lot of our women in this fantasy world of, a man having XYZ and being able to do this and do that and do this and do that and do this and do that. And I see it's like so far from reality. And then you see men now not even wanting to take part of relationships because he believes that he has to have, the six figures and this and this and this and this. So in order to satisfy somebody, he feels like it's not worth it. Instead of a female coming in and working as a partner, working as a team in order to make the goal happen. So I think this is why a lot of men have just given up on relationships and marriage, because it seems like it's a servant's role. You're serving your wife, you're serving your partner instead of building. So it seems like everything you doing is for her instead of, doing it for you, and she reaps the benefits as well. The whole happy wife, happy life syndrome leads a lot of men to the grave early because they try to base their whole life off making a wife happy, and yet they forget that they have a life that they're supposed to make themselves happy as well. I always say, if you're going out there making your wife happy, who's making you happy? And I think that's the point where a lot of men have given up. And then you see a lot of women leaving relationships early because they're not, quote unquote, satisfied romantically, or they're not satisfied, or it doesn't live up to the dream or the hype that was sold them that a relationship was supposed to be. So I said, if we took away that romantic sense of what she thought that Disney concept of love is, if we took that away and changed her ideology of what love is, what a relationship is, would it be more beneficial? Will we have higher success rates? Will we have higher marriage rates and lower divorce rates? I ask myself, is this the reason why the divorce rates are so high in the black community? Let alone, not healing from our traumas and things of that sort. But is it because we have the wrong sense of love? Because you have to understand, this whole romantic thing of love was sold to us. The whole thing behind us getting together was about survival, in a sense. That's what our love was built on, was survival, respect. Not this whole ideology of the type of person we should love and the type of standards or type of worldly standards that we placed on love in order for someone to deserve love or deserve partnership. You know, the old standard was he had to look like Morris Chestnut or Boris Kojo or one of them. You know, you had 6 feet and this and this and this and this. And a lot of women missed out on good men because their whole ideology of love and who they wanted to be with. Yet they turn around now and there's nobody there. Or even in the sense of watching all the movies and the media, how they've influenced you, you know, that you're supposed to fall head over heels for the bad boy, the Pookies and all these things. Because that's where a lot of this already sparked from was, you know, the media and movies. Yet when we take a glimpse at other cultures, they don't really fall into the whole mystical sense of romantic love. They understand that, you know, partnership, teamship, building, respect, survival is held at a much higher standard when it comes to getting with a partner, you know, than romance. Yet their marriage rates are higher. You know, the rates of them staying together is higher. The divorce rates are lower. So I ask myself is that the way to go? Getting with somebody that you respect first. Not saying somebody that you totally just don't desire, you know, because I understand it could be hard to be with somebody that you don't desire, but you know, we're taking physicality and taking romance off the table first and having other things in place that you seek towards before you look for butterflies. Let me put it like that. You know, you seek for respect. You seek for likeness in minds and concepts and ideologies of life. You seek for those things first before you seek for the butterflies. Because like I said, I feel like this whole romantic love concept that they have sold a lot of people, especially have sold us, just ain't gonna work. It's just not gonna work. Anyways, let me know how y'all feel about this. It's your favorite cousin Rich. Y'all be safe out there. Appreciate y'all for listening. Love and blessings.